Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Growing Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please, join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience. All Power to the People, The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon. Concerning violence.
Yeah, I know I was muted. All power to the people. This is a recap from last week. Because we didn't finish. We're just gonna finish the show from last week. But this is a recap that we played last week of the previous week. And this is gonna get you updated to where we at in the book.
Part 4 Recap. Fanon argues that the colonial oppression does not only control the native through physical force, it also affects the native psychologically. The anger and aggression produced by colonialism have to be contained, and the native may channel that frustration into myths, superstitions, and religious beliefs. These beliefs create a set of prohibitions and fears that can become more frightening than the actual colonial world. In this way, the native's attention can become focused on imagined or symbolic enemies rather than on the colonial system that is actually oppressing them. These shared beliefs also strengthen the individual's connection to the group. Myths, rituals, and taboos become markers of identity and provide a way for people to express emotions that cannot be openly directed toward a colonizer. The problem, however, is that this can create a kind of psychological displacement. Instead of confronting colonialism, people may become consumed by fears of breaking a taboo, encountering a supernatural force, or violating a cultural prohibition. The native can become trapped in a maze of false enemies, while the real enemy, the colonial system, remains untouched. Eventually, however, the psychological tension begins to transform itself. The native's mind starts searching for ways to release the aggression created by colonial oppression. Fanon describes music, dancing, religious ceremonies, bodily movement, and other sacred practices as outlets through which this repressed energy can be expressed. Rituals, meetings, dances, and spiritual practices allow people to release emotions and desires that have been suppressed under colonial rule. Fanon connects these practices to the expression of the libido, or the instinctual energy and desires that have been repressed. As the native begins to recognize the reality of colonial oppression, this energy can move toward political action. The native begins asking practical questions. What should the liberation movement do? How should it be organized? What risks will it have to take? At this point, the people may turn toward educated political leaders for direction. Fanon is critical of the educated Native intellectuals and politicians because they often advocate reform rather than genuine liberation. They may seek better wages, greater political rights, or closer access to the privileges enjoyed by the settler. In other words, they may want to improve the natives' position within the colonial system rather than completely dismantle that system. The intellectual's aggression can therefore become directed toward gaining his own status and privileges rather than toward revolutionary transformation. Fanon contrasts this with the peasantry, whom he considers the most genuinely revolutionary class. The peasant has little to lose because colonialism has already deprived them of land, wealth, political power, and security. They have experienced the violence of colonialism directly and understand the suffering required to defeat it. Because of this experience, the peasantry is less likely to believe that reform or compromise with the colonizer will bring genuine freedom. For Fanon, nonviolence can ultimately preserve the colonial status quo when it prevents the oppressed from confronting the structures that maintain their oppression. The peasant, having experienced colonial violence firsthand, understands that liberation may require a direct and violent confrontation with the colonial system. Overall, Fanon is describing a transformation. The psychological violence created by colonialism first appears through fear, myths, rituals, and displaced aggression, but that suppressed energy can eventually become political consciousness and revolutionary action. He sees the peasantry as particularly capable of making that transformation because they have experienced colonial oppression most directly and have the least interest in preserving the existing system. All power to the people. Greetings, comrades. Welcome.
All power to the people. Yo, that was the recap that we listened to last week before we went on. And where did you say we were at, General Secretary? But you know what? Let me start off. We were here. We were talking about this brother where he at?
Near tonight, a father.
3 minutes. We were right here. But last week, when we were on, is my mic and cameras on, right?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Thank you. But yeah, last week, this is where we left off at. But the computer just shut off. Everything shut off in the house. The whole Wi-Fi was out. So we went outside to go look to see what was going on. Yo, I actually have a picture because there was a guy from the cable company, the Wi-Fi. What company we with? Optimum? There's a guy from Optimum. Yeah, there's a guy from Optimum outside. So we asked him, like, what's going on? He said he wasn't here for us. He was here for somebody else. But make a long story short, they finally came and they said there was a wire up in the box. The wire was loose. That's why the internet service was, I don't know. They're probably lying because they don't want to pay for that. We didn't have internet there for 3 days after that. We had to wait for them to send somebody down to come up there to go do whatever wire goofy stuff they was doing. But be that as it may, that's why it cut off. And we don't want to end that show like that. We want to finish that show out because they all add together. Everything that we're talking about, the discussions that we have in here, is what we're dealing with in the community, in our communities right now. Like that recap that you just listened to, that process that he was talking about, we're going through that process right now. We have the politicians in the city that are here to redirect people's anger, mislead people. We have the academic class. We have all these people in our community doing it as we speak. A young girl that grew up where we grew up at. Like, we grew up at Academy Spires, First Street. That's where we grew up at in Newark. We lived there for the majority of our lives. And there was a young girl that was there that grew up, like, I think she was on the 7th floor, 7 or 6 or 8, I don't know. She grew up on one of those floors because it's a 20-floor building. So I knew her. I knew of her. I saw her sometimes going to the store because there's a store downstairs. Sometimes they'll be in the store with the other kids. They'll go over there. We'll get them something from the store. She was 17 years old, and she got ran over by a car. From the video, what you see is a car speeds by, hits her, and the car keep on going. And then you see a police cruiser, an unmarked police cruiser, come shortly after. Like they stop for a brief second, look at the body, and they keep on going. And everybody in the city been traumatized. Like just that carelessness, like no care for human life. Zakia. That's her name, right, Mama? Patience. I want to say her name.
Yes, that's her name.
Yeah, we called her. I called her Kia in the hood, like Kia. Nobody would use her whole name. Her name is Zakia. Like, I can still see her. I could still see her smiling. I could still see her running, going to the store. I can still see her. She was 17. We watched her grow up. I'm talking about like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We watched her grow up. And just to lose your life like that, and the community being upset because you can clearly see the police cruisers following the car, chasing the car. But they're trying to tell the community, the police, the mayor, the politicians are trying to tell the community that the police did not chase her, that the police in fact stopped and rendered aid. That's what they've reported. They haven't told us. I don't think have they reported the police officer yet? Have they reported his name, the sergeant? Have they
yeah. I've seen some reports that says Xavier Pimentel.
Did you see his picture?
I didn't see his picture, but the AG report listed his name. I'll put a link in the group chat. But apparently he had issues before as well. He was. I'm just going to say allegedly. A couple of years back, 2017, he was in some case where someone got shot by the police. I believe he was the police who shot another individual. But I'll put that link in the chat as well. But he has a history, so to say.
Yeah. But it's not surprising. I'm trying to show the Black Panther shirt, man. Trying to get my shirt on there. Trying to do this little publicity to get our shirts out there. I mean, but I can't even get it up here, right? I can't even fix this camera, right? I got to get my life together. Nah, but that's what we're going through. Exactly what Fanon was just saying. How the people, like, want redress, and all they're giving them is what? It's reform. All they're giving the people is reform. The people don't want, the people have already said we don't want the police chasing cars through the community because innocent lives get taken. The people already said that. They said that when I was growing up. They probably said it before I was growing up. The people have already said it. So instead of gotta mute that. Why is there echo?
I just muted.
Got you. Instead of holding them accountable, they're shifting the blame. They're saying people are out there putting out false stories. What false stories? We was driving in the car. I personally drove in the car, and somebody else that I know, I've known for over 20-some years. In fact, the police killed her son. She was out there when I drove past the block. She told me, she laid right there. Her body was laid right there for hours, for like 6 hours. She said they went in the store. They already seen the video that the cruiser was following her. This is from an eyewitness, somebody that I know, that I've known for over 20 years. That's what they told me. So, like, they could put out their little stuff, RLS can put out their fake propaganda information. It is what it is. See, but the community already know. And Fanon is telling you that these politicians are going to behave like this. This is what they're going to do. And last week when we were showing this dude right here, the guy that you see on the screen, the police bust inside his house, chipped him up, did everything that they'll usually do, and then they locked him up. And they said the reason why they showed up because somebody called and said they heard kids screaming. So that's why they showed up to his door. But we don't know why they ended up inside the house tussling with him to hit him with assault, all kinds. You know the charges, resisting arrest. Y'all know the basic charges that they hit us with in the hood. But the camera, when saw the camera in court, they had to drop all the charges. His son was there recording. You know what he wanted to be? I'm going to play it for you to listen. But he was just crying. You see how his eyes is red? he was crying because I can't believe they did this to somebody like me. Oh my God, why would they do this to me, like somebody like me? That he doesn't know he's still a Negro. But listen to him.
People liars, like, but fabrication, yes. Cover up. Fabrication, yes.
Which we see in the
Yo, nah, he said he don't like to call people liars. No, he's a test case of what the kind of people I'm talking about. Listen to this.
3-minute video clip we were given.
I like to call people liars, like.
See, he's talking about he don't want to call the police liars because the video clearly shows. You know what? Let me just show the video from the beginning, man. My bad. Let me show the video from the beginning. Let me show the big video from the beginning. I'm going to shut up and just let the video play because I see some people here that wasn't here last week. Where did the video started at? Right there.
As he fears he'd be in prison if his young son didn't report his encounter with police. Stewart was charged with assault on a peace officer, a felony that could have put him away for years, but a jury acquitted him after the video was played in court.
They found that the evidence starkly contradicted what the officer said.
I had my 12-year-old son record, and I was able to get the truth.
The video, of course, doesn't capture the whole interaction. We wanted to know what in the world happened in the moment Huntsville police first arrived at his home. An answer we could have simply gotten with body camera video, but the police department will not give it up. Only ABC 13's Luke Jones spoke with a man who was acquitted. He's live with what we were able to find out that wasn't on camera. Luke, what's going on?
Yeah, well, Stewart's attorney says this all got started when one of his neighbors called police because they thought they heard a young girl scream. Stewart confirms his 3 kids were home at the time. It says there was no domestic disturbance of any nature. And then what we see on the video, you see the police in his home attempting to handcuff him. You can see what some might term resisting, but you don't see him shoving the officer into the wall as the indictment accuses him of. We did ask police for body camera footage to get more context, asked them both yesterday and again today. They declined, citing the 2 pending misdemeanor cases against him, so all we have to rely on at the moment is that cell phone video.
After a 17-month legal battle, last week a Walker County jury partially cleared Jafari Stewart's name. Not guilty of assault on a peace officer, not guilty of harassment of a public servant.
It was hardened because it was like my character, me as a person, me as a man, was being questioned. It was something I know I would never do to any human being.
It was a late night in March 2025. Stewart says he and his 3 kids had just returned to their apartment when 2 Huntsville police officers knocked on their door. This indictment says they were there to investigate a welfare concern regarding children.
He just got in the house, like, what do you mean, a domestic dispute?
Stewart claims the officers pushed past him when he wouldn't let them in. Police declined to release body camera video, but when Stewart's 12-year-old son starts recording, you can see one officer attempting to place handcuffs on Stewart. Things escalate when an officer puts his hand on Stewart's neck, and Stewart jerks his shoulder.
It's technically an assault.
Mark Stevens is a retired Houston police detective. While he says the shoulder jerk could count as assault, that's not what the indictment accuses Stewart of. Police claimed he spat on one officer and pushed him into a wall.
Yo, I'm trying not to stop it. But did you just hear? This is the people that they bring to speak. This is the people they platform. You heard that police officer? That former, whatever he called himself? You heard him? He said him jerking when the dude trying to grab his neck. That's an assault. See, I know that's the society I live in. I know this is how these people talk. I know this is how they think. I have accepted it. See, most people act like this is a democracy, like these people are here to bring about justice. They're superheroes. These are good guys. See, I already know what it is. But did you hear, like, I don't know how anybody can watch that with a rational mind and even accept that kind of behavior or somebody even talking like that. Yo, that's normalized. Even the journalists, the so-called journalists, they didn't even question that. It just went on like nothing.
Neither of which we see on the 3-minute video clip we were given.
I like to call people liars. Like,
you see how he's smiling? That's a nervous laugh. I don't like to really call people liars. What do you mean calling people like? These are not people. These are criminals. These are people that came inside your home that you pay rent for, your castle. They barged in, moved you out the way and assaulted you. I don't want to call people liars because we have been socialized to think like this. We've been socialized to accept these things. Like there's nothing I can say to him to make him a revolutionary. And you're going to understand why when you hear him keep talking.
But fabrication, yes. Cover up, yes.
Responding to Stewart's shoulder movement, one of the officers began.
Yo, he just defined lying. Like, that's what he just did. Fabrication, yes. Like, you just defined lying. If somebody's fabricating, they're lying. But you can't come out and say lying, because what? Why can't you just come out and say lying?
It's pulling him, losing his balance in the process.
They're backing toward a wall, and the officer slips. And I think in the heat of the moment, the officer felt like he was probably up against the wall. Having been there many times myself, I get that.
That's not how jurors saw it. Swade Stewart's attorney says.
That's the pig that you had in your community, they had in our community, police in our community. Just think about that. It's a microcosm. You know, they say good cops, all cops are not bad, they're good cops. They're no good cops. Look at him sitting there. He should be in jail somewhere or a casket. And he's sitting there saying he slipped. I've been in that position. You know how many people he probably brutalized in our communities? Paid to do that. Our tax dollars. And these people just talk, like just casually talk, like it's normal, like it's okay. They don't feel nothing. They don't feel uncomfortable. Like they sit there and talk like this, and people treat them with respect, and they leave. This is where we are at. We are not in the decolonization process, because when we listen to Fanon, he speaks about the decolonization process. We're not there. We're still in the colonized process. Most people accept this. This is the norm. This behavior, this lying, this publicly lying by politicians, by everybody. This is normal now. This is normalcy. And if you do anything outside of that, you're seen as the problem. That's the world we live in right now. You're seen as the problem if you say, like, nah, the emperor ain't got no clothes on. What are you talking about? Bro, naked. You become the problem. How dare you say that? You got to act delusional like everybody else. That's the world we live in now. And if you don't conform to that, you're going to be isolated.
In large part by the cell phone recording.
How helpful was the cell phone video, given there were 2 body cameras off the recording?
Well, it was vital. It was vital. The body camera, both officers' body cameras fell off in the middle of this incident.
In a statement, Walker County District Attorney Will Durham says body cameras recorded the entire time, and that the cell phone video didn't contradict police. Stewart is still facing misdemeanor charges of...
You hear that? This is somebody that our tax dollars is paying for. Somebody that work for this county, whatever they work for. They're saying the video camera here, this video, did not contradict what they wrote, the report that they wrote, that he abused them, that he pushed them back into a wall. This is what they're saying. Like, they're proving my case just by me playing the video second after second. But how can you say that? But this is what these people do in real time everywhere. Lives are thrown away, discarded. Families, whole generation, life, family line, tree, just wiped out. Nobody cares. This is where we are at. Let me finish this video real quick, man. So we
resisting and failure to identify himself. Huntsville's assistant police chief declined to comment on the circumstances surrounding his arrest, but says any assertion the officers lied is false, adding, quote, "We stand behind our officers." Stewart.
Yo, that was who was that? The police chief? Who was that? Who's that? The police chief? That's somebody that they pay. Assistant Chief James Barnes, Huntsville Police Department. Like
Chairman.
Yeah.
How similar? But they all sound the same. when they come up with these statements supporting the police. But how similar does that sound, like the statement that the mayor put out regarding Zakiya Jones? We stand by officers, misinformation. There wasn't none of that. People don't know what they're talking about.
And then we could put that statement up right next to the video. You can see the video. Everybody sees the video, see the police stop, look, and keep on going. But they're not telling everybody that the police stopped. They even have pictures. You're going to find out the picture was AI. They're going to say that these pictures are this stuff, and they're going to try to muddy up the waters, conflate things. But, like, they got pictures, everything. This is what we're dealing with in real time. And none of this, I don't even need to go on and finish this video. The whole point is, when we listen to Fanon is saying none of this is going to get solved by dealing with these politicians and these academics in our community that regurgitate lies. Like the people that say, like, you hear Assistant Chief James Barnes, this is the institutions. None of these people in these institutions are going to help us liberate ourselves. They're here to only offer reform. That's what Fanon just said. We're in chapter 1 of Wretched of the Earth, and which I'm about to go back to now. And what is that? 8 what, General Secretary?
856.
856. Yeah, we almost done. I'm about to start it right now. So we continuing from last week. 856. Let me see.
The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon. Concerning Violence, Part 5. This idea Nigeria's of accumulation deprivations their own legitimate interest for the political and diplomatic support of progressive.
I got it now. Be right here. This is where we finished off at last week.
The countries and peoples. But above all, there is competition, that pitiless war which financial groups wage upon each other. A Berlin conference was able to tear Africa into shreds and divide her up into 3 or 4 imperial flags. At the moment, the important thing is not whether such and such a region in Africa is under French or Belgian sovereignty, but rather that the economic zones are respected. Today,
let me stop here for a second, because he's talking about historical events, things that actually happen. You know, like we hear stuff happening right now. He's talking about was it the Berlin Conference, whatever you just said, where they basically divided up the whole of Africa, where they knew that they were going over there, bringing slaves from there, taking them to the Caribbean. I mean, breaking them down in the Caribbean, then bringing them over here to the States, to the United States of America. They went all around Europe. They had slaves everywhere. Everybody has. The English has slaves, the French, the Portuguese. Like, this was a system that they were doing. This is real stuff, real history. And then you get somebody say something like, we are indigenous. They black as hell. They blacker than me. Like, they say stuff like, we're indigenous, like this is where we're from. We don't even want to be considered African. We are American. There's nothing about us that's African.
Chairman, I was listening to one of them FBA YouTubers. I don't watch their whole videos, but passing through, he just kept on saying, people don't understand. It's all about lineage. It's all about lineage. Okay, where you think your lineage stops at freaking when the United States brought you on the ship? That's not where your lineage starts or where it stops at.
Yo, but this is in the 50s when he wrote this, 59, 60 when he wrote this. And he's telling you about the Berlin Conference that they had, 19-something. They had the Berlin Conference a few decades earlier, where they sat there and they broke down the entire continent of Africa, these European nations. Who's going to have what? Who's going to control what? They had a conference after what? Which World War? World War I? They sat down like, yeah, we can't be fighting each other. I mean, because they just came out of the Dark Ages, too. We can't keep going back, killing each other, fighting each other. Yo, we need to, work together to be able to dominate. We can all eat by dominating them. And then you get some idiot, 2026, going to tell me, I am what's the word? What's the word that we use? I'm a native. I'm whatever they be saying.
indigenous, something descendant. Yo, y'all know those terms. Don't have us guessing. Chime in.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like this is lunacy. It's crazy talk. Yo, we have become crazy as a people, as a culture, like the culture that we have taken on, this culture of just lying, just faking. Yo, he's telling you, Frantz Fanon is telling you about the conference they had to break up where you come from because they were over there, they owned it, they took it over. They didn't even have to worry about fighting us, fighting Africans. They were worried about fighting themselves, about who's gonna take what. And you over here saying you're not even African. That's how deep it is. That's how much they have won. That's how far we have to go. When your own people are saying they're not you, everything you're talking about is just useless. We're talking about all this power that you have, all this strength, all this success that we have. What success? Our own people don't even want to be us. They don't even want to be known, like they don't even want to trace their lineage back to us. That's deep. And it's just not one, two people here. Man, I hear it in the hood. If I'm here in the hood, if it's out there, it's out there. I see these people everywhere. Yo, they got we got programs that we offer in the community. We got all kinds of programs. But we can't afford to go pay $2,000-$3,000 to keep a spot where we just got an office where we staying at. Like, yo, these purple eater people, these people with the purple clothes on, they got businesses. They got shops. They got offices in the community that they're working out of. See, we spending our money. We spend our money doing what we doing. Yo, I don't know for the hell of me how they got money to go in there and get that stuff. To be sitting in there talking about, I don't even know what they talk about the Bible. I don't know what they talk about the Quran. I think they use the Torah. I think that's what they use to bring people to come sit in there, to come listen to that. Yo, we far from getting right. We not in the process where people are about to stand up and revolt. Don't listen to nobody. Nobody's telling you what people are ready because somebody won an office, won a political office, and they call themselves socialists, and they're capitalists working in a capitalist system. They're doing capitalist business, but they call themselves socialists. So you start thinking like it's about to be a revolution. Man, people still dumb, backwards, lost. And I'm saying all of that to say, if those people are not organized, those people are not educated, they're not shown, like, taught history, taught where we've been, so we can know where we're going. If you don't do that, build institutions to do that, you will never liberate yourself. None of this is guesswork. All of this is scientific.
Wars of repression are no longer waged against rebel sultans. Everything is more elegant, less bloodthirsty. The liquidation of the Castro regime will be quite peaceful. They do all they can to...
You heard him? This is like 5960. He said the liquidation of the Castro regime. Yo, Castro lived till he died. Castro ran that country till he died. You see, like, sometimes I wish people like Fanon could be here. Like, so you could be able to have these kind of conversations with him. But he didn't think Castro was going to make it that long. And remember, like, he's justified for thinking that. America did try to invade them. The Bay of Pigs. Kennedy did sign off on them going over there to try to take over Cuba. They did. How many times did they try to kill him? Hundreds of times they tried to kill him, tried to kill Castro. But he made it all the way till he died. Because this is scientific. He wasn't freestyling. Like he knew what he had to do. All of this is scientific. None of this, you just wake up one day and it just happened. History is made all the time. You're just reading the book. Just by him saying that, that's history in itself. Like, he was there real time when Castro took over Cuba, when they had that revolution over there, they took over the island. He was there for that. I think he died in 60. I think he died like pneumonia, cancer, something in 60. So he wasn't here to see like everything that happened after that. Nah, but Castro stayed, man. Castro stayed till he died of old age. Kept the country all them years. How many years was that? 50, 60 years?
Congo Guinea, and they eliminate Basadi. Thus, the nationalist leader who is frightened of violence is wrong if he imagines that the colonialism is going to massacre all of us. The military will, of course, go on playing with tin soldiers, which date from the time of the conquest. But higher finance will soon bring the truth home to them. This is why reasonable nationalist political parties are asked to set out their claims as clearly as possible and to seek with their colonialist opposite numbers, calmly and without passion, for a solution which will take the interests of both parties into consideration. We see that if this nationalist reformist tendency, which often takes the form of a kind of caricature of trade unionism, decides to take action, it will only do so in a highly peaceful fashion through stoppages of work in the few industries which have been set up in the towns, mass demonstrations to cheer the leaders, and a boycotting of buses or of imported commodities.
You hear what he's telling you? This is what the academics, the intellectuals, the politicians, this is what they have to offer. This is the solutions that they have to offer with their unions. This is in 5960 where Fanon is telling you this. You know, when you talk to people that call themselves politically aware, all they keep talking about is the unions. We have to organize the unions. Yo, I've been saying this shit for a minute. I've been saying it for a while. Yo, the union, people in the union, they're all whores. They all sell their labor. They sell their life for money. They will sell your life. They will sell every single one of us out for them to get what they're trying to get. They don't care about the masses of the people. See, I've been peeped that scam. I peeped that way. That was I'm out like 2012. I'm out here talking about we don't want charter schools. We want the schools fixed. We want y'all to put all this energy, all the money that's sent down, let it go down to the kids. Because I want my child, I want our children, the future educated. I'm fighting with these teachers out there, marching with them on the line. Yo, they're talking about it's Tuesday. We got to go vote for Obama. Even though Obama was the one that brought the policy, that came in with the, what was it? Yeah, Arnie Duncan, when they was pushing charter schools. Obama was like spearheaded that. They were talking about going to vote for Obama. Then I got into it with the head of the union. Me and him got into it. And he told me, he was like, he was about to fight. Dude was like 70-something years old. The old Italian dude, ready to fight. He was like, yo, my job is here. My job is to look after my union members. My job is not here to fight for the community. Like, those were the processes that learned me about what all these institutions were here for. Because I walked there. I had to go in there. I'm talking about for free. Like, we did all of this for free. City Hall, the schools, all of this. We were in there for years with these people, thinking we were fighting. The whole time, these people were working to get on better wages. The hell with our children. Let me see where I'm at right here. 1050. 1050. Right? Look at this here. Look.
Near shaking.
Black lawyers. So she's in the union. She's in the union. What Fanon just said. They're going to be striking to get better wages for them to get like more comfortable into the system. That's what Fanon just said. I'll play back just a little bit when I play Fanon so you can hear him describing what she's doing. She's black. Is her hair natural? I think she got natural hair. She's a black woman. That's a lawyer. And she's out there in the union. So all those things to me are supposed to make me want to like be part of whatever she is. She's black. She's educated. She's in the union. She's outside fighting, protesting. But none of that does anything for the people in our community. Nothing she gains will do anything for anyone in this community. In fact, black lawyer, she's in the system, part of the system that's maintaining our suffering. But you can't say that. There's nowhere else you're going to go where anybody's going to say anything to you like this. And if I'm wrong, challenge me. Like, let's have the ideological struggle. And nothing she's doing out there is for the benefit of people like me or anybody in my community. whatever they pay her, whatever she gets. So why am I going to be aligning myself with her? In fact, she will align herself with the bosses that she's begging for money to oppress me. But let's hear her say what her spiel.
Because we, the workers, deserve pay raises that take into account the cost of living, inflation, as well as health care. Maintaining our no-cost free health care that we've had since forever, ever, that management now wants to take away without being transparent about the financials or what they have to offer.
Listen to that. Yeah. She must be living a good life. She ain't living in the hood with the roaches and the rats and all of that. She ain't living with the police kicking your door and going up top on you and then charging you. She's not going through that drinking the poison water. She's had insurance forever. They have insurance. She's a black lawyer. She's fighting for wages. What does that have to do with the people in my community? Why should I go there and go stand in that line for you to get that money? How does any of that do anything to change my schools, to change the justice system? These are the questions, this is a conversation that we're not having. We're all delusional. We're told to go into these spaces. To go into these spaces, this is going to give us the solutions to a police chasing a car and a young woman dying. Rather than hold that police officer accountable, hold the system that allows the police officer to do that accountable. Hold those people, those individual people, they should be going to jail. The people that, the mayor for putting out that statement should be going to jail because he's trying to interfere with the case. Because when you read his statement, that's what you're going to see. You are the mayor of the city, and you're putting out statements basically co-signing what the police are saying. You with them. But this is not just where we live at. This is everywhere, in every community. And Fanon is telling you, yo, all these institutions are not here to serve you. If you want to serve yourself, if you want to liberate yourself, you have to build your own institutions. Their institutions got to go. Their lawyers got to go. Their police got to go. Their teachers got to go. All of this stuff got to go. We got to build our own. We got to start to do it. And this is not something where it's so hard that we cannot do. You'll start with your community. Let's start in our community. I mean, like we can sit there and even at that point where we gonna sit down and have a conversation on how we're gonna do this, we're not even doing that. We're not there yet. If I gather some people and I put them in a room, I'm talking about these are activists, people that say they've been out there, they've been organizing. You put all them people in one room, all they're gonna start talking about is their feelings, what they've been through, what their struggle is. If they're feminists, if they're like an animal protection person, environmental stuff, or they're going to start talking about all this other instead of dealing with empire. Despite the fact that everything they're describing is the result of capitalism. Everything, they're suffering. They're going to start talking about all this other stratified nonsense. I don't even want to be in that room, man. I ain't got time for that no more. Yo, the only time that I have to give with my life is towards something that's going to bring about some fruits, and that's building institutions. If we're not building institutions, we're not talking about building institutions, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to be part of it. I mean, but let her finish out her little spiel. See that? You see, you got black people, you got white people, you got black men, black women. Well, I see a lot of women, but you got a lot of different people in this. So, like, you can't just be screaming race, 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 race. When we say, when Fred Hampton says it's a class struggle, goddammit, yo, these people don't belong to our class. They don't share. Well, they don't share in what? They don't share in our suffering. So we in there, we demanding that the police get dealt with. They're in there talking about some cameras. Put a camera on the police officer. This is what they'll come back to the community and say to us, because that allows them to keep being lawyers making six figures. but we can't even afford rent. We got to work 2-3 jobs to be able to afford rent. So they'll rationalize to us. Well, we should just settle for cameras instead of no, we don't want the police in our community. They don't live in our community anyway, so they don't care. They're out here fighting for our contracts. They told you what they're fighting for. So exactly what they're fighting. They're not fighting for your liberation. They're fighting for their contract. Yo, where was I at anyway? Anybody remember? I'm going to start from the beginning, but nobody say nothing. You're not even on the mic. I just hear you in the house. Yeah, I could hear you.
The military will, of course, go on playing with tin soldiers, which date from the time of the conquest. But higher finance will soon bring the truth home to them. This is why reasonable nationalist political parties are asked to set out their claims as clearly as possible and to seek with their colonialist opposite numbers, calmly and without passion, for a solution which will take the interests of both parties into consideration. We see that if this nationalist reformist tendency, which often takes the form of a kind of caricature of trade unionism, decides to take action, it will only do so in a highly peaceful fashion through stoppages of work in the few industries which have been set up in the towns, mass demonstrations to cheer the leaders.
Yo, less than 10% of the people in America work in unions. Just to let you know that. Remember, set aside. There's little jobs that are set aside where there are unions. All of this is to control the masses of us. These unions are set up to act like they're there to fight for our liberations. That is not what they're there for. That's not what their jobs are.
It's in the boycotting of buses or of imported commodities. All these forms of action serve at one and the same time to bring pressure to bear on the forces of colonialism and to allow the people to work off their energy. This practice of therapy by hibernation, the sleep core used on the people, may sometimes be successful. Thus, out of the conference around the Great Bailly's table comes the political selectiveness which enables Monsieur Imba, the President of the Republic of Gabon, to stay in all seriousness on his arrival in Paris for an official visit. Gabon is independent, but between Gabon and France, nothing has changed. Everything goes on as before. In fact, the only change is that Monsieur Imba is President of the Gabonese Republic and that he is received by the President of the French Republic. The colonialist bourgeoisie is helped in its work of calming down the natives by the inevitable religion. All those things who have turned the other cheek, who have forgiven trespasses against them, and who have been spat on and insulted without shrinking are studied and held up as examples. On the other hand, the elite of the colonial countries, those slaves set free, when at the head of the movement, inevitably end up by producing an earth-set conflict. They use their brothers' slavery to shame the slave drivers or to provide an ideological policy of quaint humanitarianism for their oppressive financial competitors.
Yo, did you hear that? They use our suffering for their access into white supremacy, for them to gain things. All of them. As soon as one of these black people, one of these professional black people it's always racism. It's always racism. Because they know we are targeted. So they use our suffering. Because it's not their kids. It's not their kids. By and large, the police are not going around killing their kids. A majority, overwhelming majority, 90% of the people that are being brutalized by the police come from our community. They don't come, we in a class struggle. They don't come from the upper class. They don't come from the middle class. The suburbs is not policed how they police our communities. Those are the people that's asking for reform. That's convincing some of the people that live in our community, that's catching hell, that's convincing them that their ideas of camera and all that. And it's not even convincing. It's the people, like, let's say people in North. The average person in Newark, New Jersey, that's trying to go into government, they're looking for a job. They're looking for money. They're looking for access. They're not looking to do good for nobody. You could say, yeah, you could say what you want to say. I know people are like, how you going to say that? I mean, you're looking for a job. You don't need to go to City Hall to do good for anybody. You don't need City Hall to help you do anything. If you want to do good, you can't do good without City Hall. You don't need to go there. You don't need to win an election. You don't need to do none of that. None of that means anything. That don't have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. So, like, why are you even trying to go there? Because you're trying to get money. It's an incentive motive for you to go there. You think you're going to get this grants, this non-profits, you're going to get this money they're going to do. They're not giving you nothing. They got these selected people that they deal with. They're not giving you nothing. And you need to accept that.
The truth is that they never make any real appeal to the Afro-slave slaves. They never mobilize them in concrete terms.
Hear that? They don't mobilize us. I mean, when George Floyd happened, all those people that were in the street, they didn't mobilize them to say we don't want the police in our community no more. But if all those people in the street say we don't want the police department here no more, all those people in the street went to the police department and say all of you got to leave right now. All the people that say they care about George Floyd, that they were so horrified, why didn't they go in that community and say we want the police department to leave? No more police department here. We're going to organize this community for us to be our own police, to police our own communities. Ain't nobody do that. They told them to go vote for Kamala Harris and Biden. That's what they told y'all. They organized, brought all of you together, painted the street with rainbow colors, and said, let's go vote for, what you call it, got on her knees. The Congress people got on their knees with kente cloth on. This is what these people doing. And they tell you these are the people that you should celebrate. People like John Lewis, whatever his name is. I hope there's a hell, because he will be there. If there was a hell, all these people would go.
On the contrary, at the decisive moment, that is to say, from your point of view, the moment of indecision, they brandish the danger of mass mobilization as a crucial weapon which would bring about, as if by magic, the end of the colonial regime. Obviously, there.
Hey, yo, I'm at 13. That was 13. We almost done, probably like a minute left. I'm at 13. But when he said that just now, that's what this video said right here. These are two professors. This is Jared Ball, and what's this guy's name? It don't even matter knowing his name, because these people are traitors to our liberation. So there's nothing to even, like, worry about knowing his name. The guy on top is Jared Ball, and this guy, they both work at HBCUs. Now listen to their conversation.
I'm almost salty in this sense. I don't see nobody suffer.
See, when you start talking about it's time to go to war, we got to separate. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to start to organize our people. This is what they say. Listen to him. Listen to what he just said. I'm a softy. I mean, I don't want to see nobody suffer. I mean, listen to his solution.
I'm a softy in this sense. I don't see nobody suffer. So, would I rather have a judge?
We're not suffering right now. We're not suffering. You don't want to see nobody suffer. This is what this black middle class intellectual Negro. This is not a white person I'm showing you. I'm not showing you Greg Carr. His name is Greg Carr. General Secretary, look up and see what school he teaches at. I mean, but his name is Greg Carr.
Look up his what?
Howard University.
Oh, he said Howard? Yeah.
Been there for a while.
Yeah, but listen to his, look at all them books he got in the back. All that intellect that he's supposed to have in his brain. And listen to his solution. Like, I don't want nobody suffering. Listen to his solution.
I'm a softy in this sense. I don't see nobody suffer. So, would I rather have a judge on a bench that's going to give somebody a diversion program? Yeah. Would it be ideologically more sound to have the draconian judges going to push people till they finally rebel? Perhaps. But I don't see anything.
See what he's talking about? Push people till they finally rebel. That's not how none of this works. That's not how none of this works. Because they push people, people going to have riots. People going to start having riots. They're going to do all this stuff that is not productive, that is reactionary. What people like him supposed to be doing is organizing those people for that moment. Organizing for the moment that they're ready to rebel. This is what we do. This is how we do it. That's what you're supposed to be doing. as a master teacher, as an intellectual, as an academic, somebody that's read all those books and studied all that shit. But what are you doing? And I get, this is real to me. This is real. Like, I don't fake it when I come here and I'm talking, like, I don't have to put on this old disguise of, like, anger. Put on this, like, to act like I'm phony, I'm making this up. Just talking about them get me riled up. This is treachery. What they're doing is treachery. And they do it so bold. Come on camera and say these things like nobody else has read the books to know what's inside the books. That you a fraud. And that's what Fanon is telling you. Fanon is, like, he's explaining it. When it comes down to it, this is what they're going to do. They're going to talk about judges on the imperialist courts. I'm going to bring it back because I'm a softy. No, you're a traitor to your people. That's exactly what you are. You are a traitor.
Because I'm a softy in this sense. I don't like to see nobody suffer. So, would I rather have a judge on a bench that's going to get somebody a diversion program? Yeah. Would it be ideologically more sound to have the draconian judges that's going to push people till they finally rebel? Perhaps. But I don't see anything in history where the lumpen, the proletariat, however you want to categorize that class, the stick gets so hot on them that a mass movement emerges where they have been informed or engaged in study, and then move in a way that leads to structural transformation. You won't have rebellion for sure, as you say, unstructured, but
you haven't seen it where? You haven't seen it amongst black people because all our intellectuals have been traitors, have been sellouts. They killed the revolutionaries, and then they left people like you here to brainwash everybody else, go on what's his name, Roland Martin show, act like they're so smart. Who you think overthrew those Europeans in China? Where did those people come from? You think that was the elite class that went to war with all them European nations? America, France, all these people. I think even Canada was there. You think they went to war with these superpowers and defeated them with lawyers and professors and teachers? Mao walked into the rice paddies. He walked into the deep debt country where the people had no education, and they built institutions to educate those people, to sustain those people, for them to be able to have a revolt. What are you doing? You're sitting in your house with all them books up there that you probably didn't even read, acting like you're so smart, giving solutions to questions nobody asked you.
That's the thing I think. I don't know whether we agree or disagree on that, but to me, that might be the place where there's a disagreement. Whether how are we heighten the contradiction? Because I'm here, yes, I'll stop there. I mean,
how are we heighten the contradiction? Still ain't talking about nothing. No skin in the game. They're not willing to do anything because they're collecting a check from Howard University. So their whole life is preparing to go in front of those children and tell them the stuff that they read in them books and fit it in a narrative where they could get money in for them to have the CIA, whatever, come in and work at Howard. That's his whole life. Nothing revolutionary about his life. Nothing academic. I don't trust no academics. Anybody that's been educated and produced by this system, I don't trust. That especially works in the system, makes money through the system, I don't trust nothing they say. Everything they say, I have to filter it. I have to filter it through the real stuff. Through what I've read, through what the books say. Can't trust these people. No, these people are not academics. They're all frauds. All of them, every single one of them. The white school, what they call it, PWI, HBCUs. Man, we don't have no institutions of our own. None. Absolutely none. And all this talking about anything else, it's some people that want to fight me and really have a conversation about communism, socialists, about being I don't even know what they call what they believe in. Afrocentric. I don't know what. It's not Afrocentric either. You're just stupid. If you just think like, our whole purpose when we get up is to argue about if Marxism or black nationalism is what we're supposed to be. I don't care. I care that we go into our communities and build institutions in there to teach our children who they are, what their purpose is. I don't care what you're talking about. I think you're stupid for even talking about, for wasting your time talking about that. I'm too tired from doing actual work in the community, actually helping people, trying to organize people to have these conversations with you. You could leave all that stuff in my inbox. You could send the messages. You could post it on my page. I don't care. I'm not going to answer. None of that mean anything to me.
The political party, and among their leaders, certain revolutionaries who deliberately turned their backs upon the farce of national independence. But very quickly, their questionings, their energy, and their anger obstruct the party machine, and these elements are gradually isolated and then quite simply brushed aside. At this moment, as if there existed a dialectic concomitance, the colonial police will fall upon them. With no security in town, avoided by the militants of their former party, and rejected by its leaders, these undesirable firebrands will be stranded in the country districts. Then it is that they will realize, bewildered, that the peasant masses catch on to what they have to say immediately, and without delay ask them the question to which they have not yet prepared the answer. When do we start? This meeting of revolutionaries coming from the towns and country dwellers will be dealt with later on. For the moment, we must go back to the political parties in order to show the nature of their action, which is all the same progressive. In their speeches, the political leaders give a name to the nation. In this way, the native demands are given shape.
Hey, I was writing it down so I don't forget it. I'm writing it down just now. He said, once they come inside the community and they're talking to the people gonna ask them, when do we start? Hey, yo, what's the first thing I asked Amiri Baraka when I saw Amiri Baraka? Yo, when I saw Amiri Baraka, that's Ras Baraka's father. Amiri Baraka is supposed to be this poet laureate, this intellectual, blah, blah, blah. They had occupied Newark when I first came home from prison. And they got gathered there, the mayor and them, you know, the mayor, he wasn't mayor yet. I think he was a council person, or he was running for council. I don't know what he was. But they was down there trying to co-opt that scene. Right now, their co-optation machine is on a different level. The mayor don't even have to show up no more. He has people that they send out there. When something happened, anything happened in the community, they have this organization, this fake NGO, nonprofit organization that they fund. They go out there to try to control the whole narrative. Yo, that's what they're doing in the city now. And they got that thing sold up. But back then, when I first came from prison, it was Amiri Baraka that was out there. You know what I asked him? Because he kept pointing at Prudential. He like, Prudential. I'm like, all right, so what's the strategy then? How do we get at Prudential? What do we do to liberate ourselves? How do we start this? Like, there was no answer. He had no answer for me. What actually happened was, like, the people around him started getting upset. They came over there, started getting in front of me. Like, do you know who that is? Like, I don't give a damn who that is. I really didn't. I really didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't care. But you talking all that talk, like, yeah, we must come together. The community is this, the community that we must come together to fight back. We must go fight Prudential. All right, how do we do it? That solution is never there. They never offer that solution up. They tell you to go vote. Go vote for my son to be mayor. So this was like 2009, 2010, 11, I don't know when it was. But his son won in 2012. Yo, we're in 2026. How is Newark now? So go back. Go hold up Newark then and hold up Newark now. I'll tell you one thing for sure. It's less black people in Newark. Because Amiri Baraka was a nationalist. Black this, black, black, black. Fred Hampton said it. Or they keep talking to this black, 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 black. But when you look, like, they're really capitalists. Like, they're not trying to burn up what they're trying to buy on Monday or something like that, he said in the book. So compare Newark now to Newark then. Is Newark, New Jersey better now than it was in 2008, 9, 10, 11? As him going to vote for his son, going to vote for his son's whole party. He got a whole team that's at City Hall. He got a whole team that's on the school board that do the school. And what I'm talking about is Newark goes everywhere. Wherever you go, this is the basic practice. And if you're not doing it like this, you're doing on malpractice. You're gonna soon be gone. But this is how all these government agencies work. All these institutions work. So it's no better now with all that black. No, it's not better. I mean, but that was it. That's it for the reading for this week. I mean, but there's a video that I got up that I was gonna show last week. I mean, I forgot what content I was gonna use, but it's basically showing black business people like doing the riots, like how they do it. See where he's coming from? It's not right what y'all doing when y'all burn down those businesses. Even though he don't live in the community, he don't do nothing for that community, he's not part of that community, but because he has a business in there, because whatever slimy stuff, whatever grimy stuff he had to do, however he got that money for him to get that business to be exploiting those people in that community, the same way how all these businesses exploit the people in the community, but he believes the people in that community should supposed to like support his business. They're not supposed to burn his business down when the police shoot somebody. But why do the people burn your business down? Because you're the one that supports these politicians. That's why they burn your business down. They're not just burning it down because it's their business. They don't get nothing from it. That's why they loot it. If the business was taking care of the community, the business have programs in the community helping the people in the community. The community.
Hey, Ma, you be throwing some. You got to get some context to this. What's going on here? Is this? You just threw this up. You threw me for a loop. Is this old? Is this new? What city is this in? What was they protesting about? What was this business about?
You know what? You're right. You know what? You're right. But when I got the video for last week, man, I don't forgot the context. I
think I know. This is the 1992 LA Rebellion. And, this is one of the clips that went around the news media was playing.
Thank you, Rod. No, but I knew it was a clip from one of them rebellions. But it doesn't matter what rebellion. It don't matter where it's at. It don't matter what business. Yo, I don't know any black business in the whole of the United States, in the whole of Africa, in the whole of the islands. I don't know one black business. I know black people that got businesses, but that business has nothing to do with me. That business does not profit other black people. If your business only profits you a nigga with a business. You're not black people. Stop using blackness to get people to support your business when you do absolutely nothing for black people. And if you hire black people, you pay them the same thing that the normal people, the normal white job will pay. They're not paying people double that. Unless there's contrary to this, somebody sees something different, you let me know. You be like, what I want somebody to say is, nah, Africa, there's a business right here where any black person can come in and get part ownership and like give money, whatever, like to buy stock or whatever, to buy shares. There's a black business right here. And I'm gonna be like, what? Man, I want to join that business. I want to give me some shares in that business. How much is it to get in? What can I do to get in? How do we start that? But I don't know any businesses like that. I don't know no Latin, Spanish, Hispanic businesses like that. All I know is capitalism. Other black folks practicing capitalism, they're running around whining, saying we should treat them different than we treat the other businesses. You treat us different? I mean, we run this programs in the community. There is no black business. There's no black person with a business. There's no black nothing that's donating to what we doing. That's giving to what we doing. There's a business everywhere around here. Of course, there ain't that many black businesses around here.
It's not like we didn't ask.
Yeah, it's not like we didn't ask. We're having conversations now if we should go through that process again, where we have people go sit down and have conversation with the individual businesses and see what they can do to help. Because we've been doing this for almost 18 years now, almost 20 years. So our work, what we've been doing in the community is documented. Nobody can deny what we've been doing in the community for all these years. We just finished another, another summer camp. And then on Wednesday, we're taking 15 children to that, what's it called? Camel Beach, whatever. It's summertime. They're about to go back to school. We're going to pack them all up in the van, and we're going to take them out there. Everything is free. Everything that we do in the community is free. We've been doing this for years. If you want to transform your community, you want to transform where you're at, you have to build the institutions there to to serve the people in that community. That's what the
point of correction. There is a business. Camel Beach provides tickets.
Yeah, but Camel Beach provided the tickets. Because we was yo Jeremy, you still here, Jeremy? My boy Jeremy was here early. He left. Jeremy, you here? Jeremy Baker, you right here. Jeremy, get back on the screen. Wake up, Jeremy. Yo, text Jeremy. Tell him to get it on the computer. Stop faking like he here. Because his phone is here, but he probably outside and stuff walking with that dumb dog. He's not trying to play me out, Jeremy. I see you here, but you not here. But Jeremy...
That's fucked up. Why you call my dog dumb? But yes, I was outside with the dog.
Yeah.
But I had my headphones on. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yo, you think I don't know what be going on, man? I be knowing
that.
Yeah,
I know. I was listening.
No, but look, so Jeremy put it on social media. Jeremy, like, we taking all these kids, we trying to take them out. Yo, we got like 20-something kids that come to the camp, but we can't afford to take all of them. So they said they were going to pay for 15 to bring 15 kids down. Because Jeremy went on there, put it on there, and he hit them up. I mean, yo, thank you, bro. So Wednesday, we going out there. I mean, we going to meet you out there at 11 o'clock?
Yep, between 10 and 11, man. I can't wait.
Blow it up. So we're going to bring all the kids out there. We're going to meet. We got to talk about how, anyway, when we get offline. But yeah, but this is what we do. So every single child in Newark should be able to do that, should be in programs like that in the summertime. Every single child. I'm talking about not just a camp or program where it's like funded by the government. Yo, where we're at, we're talking about real stuff. We're talking about their parents in jail. We're talking about how do you deal with stuff like that? Because most of their fathers in jail. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with, like, living in the community that we live in? Yo, we outside. When we outside working out, there's a youth center right there across the street. There's a homeless shelter right there across the street. This is what they have to look at. We talk about this thing. This is a Black Panther summer camp. Every single child in the city should be going through this education process. Because people may think like, yo, we're just doing a basketball camp. Yo, but I was telling a kid this morning, he's going to be a senior. He came through the camp. He been around. I spoke to him this morning, sincere. And I was telling him, yo, all the work, all the steps, all the push-up, pull-ups, all the dips, all this stuff, work you did was to train you on how for you to survive in this world. That same energy you put into that, in the sun, doing all that work, that you're doing what you're doing in school now. He's a senior. He's about to be the point guard starting on his high school team. And I was telling him, all that work was to get you to understand how much work you got to put in to be able to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. I'm like, that's why we did all of that. So there's no excuse. I'm like, they made you a point guard. You're the lead on that team now. So now you have to come up with ways to get your teammates to understand what y'all need to do so y'all can accomplish the task at hand. I'm like, what did you learn from me? I'm like, you're supposed to call them. Y'all go to what the hell they call that? They got a basketball place where they be getting runs. I don't even know what they call it, man. But anyway, LA Fitness. Go to LA Fitness. Get the 5 of y'all. Get on the basketball court and go run over there. Let them go over the place. Because he said the problem is having with the team. His teammates are like, they're not basketball smart. They don't have basketball IQ. And I get it. I understand. But the only way for them to get that IQ by you going out there is physically showing them. And that's what I explained to him. And he was like, yeah, and he understood. And I mean, like, this is your chance. And I'm like, bro, you ain't never going back to high school. If this is a wrap. Everything's downhill from here, big boy.
I feel you. I feel you. Hey, it ain't the same after high school, man. Even if you play in like college it ain't the same, boy. It ain't the same.
Everything from here is downhill, bro. I mean, so like, yo, I'm like, before the season start, you got a couple of weeks, whatever, a couple of months for the season start. This is where you do the work at. I'm like, you're a coach. I'm like, you're the coach on the floor. You're not just out there. Aside from doing everything that you got to do, getting your 1,000 shots up a day, working on your floater, working on your handle, your job is to get that team to perform on the court. I'm like, this, you're now in a leadership role. That's what all of this is teaching you to be. I'm like, enjoy it. I'm like, enjoy going through the process because it makes you a better person. That's what we do this sports stuff for. All these other people that's doing it, I don't know what they're doing it for. People coming here to talk about they want to work with the kids. You just want a job. Don't be coming in here lying to me. No, like people always talk about something, I do the same thing you do. No, you don't. Number one, you don't do it for free. If ain't nobody paying you, you ain't doing it. You're not going to pick up all these kids. You're not buying them sneakers. You're not feeding them. You're not in their lives. You're not doing homework. They're not your child. You don't act like that. You're not in this saying like this is for the revolution of our people because they're out to teach them this discipline. That's not what you're doing. So don't come to me talking about we do the same thing. And if you see this video, please don't come to me saying we doing the same thing. Because I'm a revolutionary. I'm only in this space. Like most people call me coach. Like the parents and stuff, they call me coach. All the parents I've known from all, they call me coach. Yo, this basketball camp is probably, 6 weeks out of the whole year. It's like 6 weeks out of the whole year of everything else that we do. The paid patrol, everything. Everything else at the housing. Everything that we do. This is like but a little segment of it. Because then we do boxing. Yo, so like, I don't know. They don't even call me trainer though. But most people call me coach. Because they see me part of this. And the people that I coached around, the people that I did the basketball, they see me, like they think I'm in their fraternity, their coaching world. I'm a revolutionary going through whatever space I got to go to. Man, I was about to say something, but I ain't even going to say it. I edited myself just now. Because I would go in any space that I got to go through to get this done, I will go through. But now, hell, I can't even go to the strip clubs, man. I can't show myself in the strip club. Like, what it look like, the chairman of the Black Panther Party at the strip club. It's like, you're supposed to be able to go, hey, man, but you can't go in the strip club. Right or wrong, General Secretary? She said you can, but I'm not going. She said she'll go with me. Oh, my goodness. Then they're going to be talking about, oh, no, yo, he ain't going nowhere, bro. Them days is over. Hold up. Yo, I'm going to send them a text. I ain't got to go in there. Nah, but that's it for this week, man. Yo, we about to do the Ray Swabby show in a minute. I mean, and the show is not live, so we about to do the recording. But I implore you to find out where he at, because this is the conversations we have there. Yo, are you there, Ray? Are you outside too walking?
Yeah, I'm here. No,
You probably sleeping and shit. You got the phone on.
Nah, that was hilarious. You called Jeremy out like that.
Nah, that's the homie. He understand. Yeah, but Ray, how can they catch the show?
Yeah, so we don't do live. I kind of do it recorded, but follow me on YouTube and Instagram. I kind of like to do it recorded because I like to edit the videos and stuff, make everybody sound good, you know what I'm saying? But follow me on YouTube.
Oh, Pop. What's the YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel is The Random Shuffle.
The Random Shuffle. Put it in the chat, too. The Random Shuffle. The Random Shuffle.
Real conversations, random guests, always dope. Of course, no filter. All right, yeah, I'm going to put that in the comments.
All power to the people. All power to the people. Hey, yo, and anybody that's doing anything like this, anybody know, please let me know, because we want to push it. Yo, I don't care. Like, I will push it. Yo, Ray, if you send us stuff, whatever, I know I may get to it later, but we're going to make sure we get to it. We're going to promote it, push it out, because we got to have these conversations. Yeah, Brother Nas. Who's coming up next, Brother Nas? You here, CEO? Or you outside too, CEO? See? I got one. See, Brother Nas not here. I got one, Patience.
But, since he's not here, but anybody that wants to join, and I apologize, I don't know the name of the next show, you can just stay on. This channel has plenty of shows, good shows with plenty of good information. So, and it's running all day throughout the week. So if you want to just Stay on for the next show.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a fantasy show. Hey, yo, hey, Ibrahim, you do fantasy football?
Definitely not.
Oh,
Definitely do not.
Come on, bro. I need one more person.
That's a segue into gambling, man. Gambling. You in the epicenter of the gambling epidemic. Matter of fact, my God, man. So.
Man, I'll be gambling like gambling ain't gambling. I mean, look.
I know you read that study from New Jersey Institute of Technology and Rutgers that said, man, they got our youth in a headlock.
Yeah,
we hold up. I don't have enough on my shoulders, bro. Like, yo, now I can't eat meat. Yo, I don't have no salt in my diet. Now you want to take away fantasy football too, bro?
Ibrahim, I'm trying to take away FanDuel little by little. Let's not let him have a heart attack.
Get him on the Tetris. Get him on. Maybe you can swap him with the Tetris or something.
Yo, we be arguing about that. Yo, we be arguing about Tetris. That is the dumbest game on the planet of the earth.
It's gonna stimulate you. It may be able to soothe some of that fantasy football, you know. So then, because when I come to this channel and I see you got a draft dog or you know how you be when you go to Shannon Sharps. That's when I'm done. When you get the same sponsors that Gillian Wallow them guys, that's when I'm done. But on a serious note, I thought y'all had already went swimming, so it was on the back of my mind. So this morning I finally, did what I was supposed to do. So I'm glad I got that to you prior to, because I was like, they probably already went. I've been busy on some other stuff. My driver's been messing the money up when it comes to the trucking industry. So this morning, I don't know why, but it popped in my mind to, hey.
Yo, bro, like real talk. And Ibrahim, we probably add like 1 or 2 people every couple of months to our organization. Yo, we don't grow that much. Hey, yo, real talk, man. Yo, I'm waiting for you to take your Shahada B to come in and become a Panther, yo. Cause everything we do is people like you that help, man. You don't need to be in Newark, New Jersey, man. Just by you doing this stuff, this ain't the first time. I didn't even know you did that. I haven't even checked the social media stuff. Yo, I'm so grateful for people like you. Because we really do have to go rent a vehicle to take these kids down there. We have to feed them for the whole day. The stuff we do costs money. Gas costs money. And if it wasn't for people like you, it would be almost impossible. All jokes aside, though. But don't be talking about my fantasy football, though, bro. I gotta have one evil that I could do, man. Word up. And I be making money, man. These people dumb. They don't know. Yo, Ibrahim, I've been winning every year, bro. Every year I was winning like 5 leagues.
Hey, you the first there, because I don't know nobody. And because I'm in the sports, people assume that I gamble. So when it comes to March Madness, they always, send a bracket. It's only $50. Do this. I be like, no, man. I do sports, but I don't do the gambling part. I just do sports for the love of sports.
Word up, man. Nah, man. Damn. But we done for this week, man. But thanks a lot, though, Ibrahim. You just made me feel better just now. Because I was thinking about how we going to swipe that credit card, how that thing was going to work out tomorrow. Thanks a lot, though, man. But till next time, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people.